This is anything about gambling. It's not gambling when you know you're going to win.
I don't bet. What do you mean you don't bet? I mean, I don't bet.
You're listening to Bustin' Chops and Callin' Shots.
Happy Thursday morning out there, my winners. Hope everybody's doing great. Hope you had a good Wednesday night. Super excited this morning. Excuse me, drink of water there. Bringing out a big Wednesday night in which our moneyline parlay Edmonton Oilers and the Golden State Warriors cashes for the easy cover. The Toronto Maple Leafs come through and extend that series for us. And as well as we had the Baltimore Orioles. They're the best team in town. If you've never been to Baltimore, that's how people talk there. Yeah, Baltimore Orioles, they're the best team in town. So, big night for us. We're going to recap NBA, NHL playoffs. Very short card in baseball today. And I want to look ahead. A big night tonight. NFL schedule release. I'll make sure to be in my seat between that and the playoff games tonight. Big game for the Celtics as they try to stave off elimination in Game 6 in Philly. Philly is 1-7 their last 8 in series clinchers versus Boston. Can they right that trend tonight? We'll dive into that. Phoenix, again, without Chris Paul for Game 6. Can the Suns, can Booker find that magic, like we thought and we said on here the other day, he wouldn't be able to do that in Denver. We were correct. So can him and KD put it together one more time in Phoenix, or does Denver finally get over the hump to end that series? We'll talk a little NHL playoffs as the series shifts back to Carolina. Fully expect the Hurricanes to finish that off. And our Dallas Stars, who we got that 5-unit play, is in a 2-2 series tie, goes back to Game 5 tonight. Excuse me. I don't know what it is about my throat in these early mornings, but anywho. So I was thinking about this last night and this morning when I was brushing my teeth and getting ready is, they always say the hardest game in a series is to close a team out. And I heard a lot of stuff on, TV, podcast I listen to, sports talk radio, all that stuff. Again, I'm gathering information all day long, not to sway my bets, but really more or less to make sure I don't follow these goobers out there that think they know everything and don't know a lick. But, I heard, the Lakers shouldn't go after it Game 5, which I thought was ridiculous. Like, if you got a game, you got to go for the win. Because last night, what the Golden State Warriors proved is they're still the champs, right? And yeah, you can say, well, John, everybody thought they would win Game 5. You're absolutely right. Draymond Green, is he going to give you 20 every night? No. Andrew Wiggins poured in 25. But look, Curry 27, Klay Thompson 10. Jordan Poole had a little bit of a sighting with 11, but they didn't go off. And he still won by 15. And then you got old brittle Anthony Davis, leaves with the hip injury. Anybody blows on him, the guy's injured. It's like if you just pat the guy on the back, he's got broken ribs. So now the game shifts back to Game 6 in LA. And this is the one that I've been told, LA, this is the one they're undefeated at home. This is the one they'll get. Golden State is horrible on the road, and all that's true. All that's absolutely true. But here's where I would caution people. Steph didn't have a big Game 5. Klay, he's been ghosted the whole series outside of Game 2. And Philly, or Golden State rather, it's not like they poured in a ton of threes, right? So my question is, what happens if all them get hot in Game 6 and you got LeBron that played 39 minutes last night coming off one day's rest where he's already trying to manage the tank, so to speak. And now you got to hurt Anthony Davis. And again, role players play better at home. They played better for Golden State last night. I fully expect tonight for Phoenix's role players to play better and the Nuggets to digress, just like when they were in Denver for Game 5. Denver's role players played much better. Phoenix's, they were non-existent. For whatever reason, role players tend to play better at home. They're more comfortable. On the road, they're not. You hear everybody say that. I got to agree. I mean, the facts are the facts. But if LA doesn't close this out in Game 6, I think LeBron can muster anything, right? I have total faith in LeBron. But 39 minutes, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 25 points on 9 of 17 shooting. I mean, it's not like he played bad. What's he going to do? Go for 50? So, I mean, this series, and I thought Golden State would win last night. We had them in the easy money line parlay with the Oilers. But this series starts to get very interesting now as it moves forward. Going to game 6 tomorrow night in LA. Great way to spend your Friday night. So I'll be definitely intrigued in that. The New York Knicks stave off elimination. Line closed 3.5. I told you yesterday, I thought the Knicks would get it done. However, I didn't give it out. Wish I had. It closed with 38% of the bets on the Knicks, but 51% of the handle on the Knicks. Clear sign. Again, anytime you get low ticket count, but overwhelming money, that should tell you right there. Typically, that's the side you want to go if you just play it based off the market, right? Tonight, big game for me as a Celtics fan. Celtics laying 2.5 at Philly. 65% of the bets are on Boston. 67% of the money. 35% on Philly, 33% of the money on the Sixers. I expect this line to go to 3 and close there. Look, I know everybody's talking about, well, last year, Boston won Game 6 and Game 7 against Milwaukee, so they've been here before. You're right, they have. But they didn't have a 10-year-old as a head coach then, and the team had a little bit of guts. You got to take Philly or you don't bet the game. There is absolutely, and if you're going to bet Boston, you got to lay the $1.40 money line, and I'm just not about that life. Philly, if they're going to win this series, I think they close it out tonight, but either way, Philly's got 2 cracks at this. I have no faith Boston can put 2 in a row. Why should I? They've shown themselves to be incapable. Look, when you mess around with the Atlanta Hawks, and I love Quinn Snyder. Again, he's a Dookie, head coach of the Hawks. But when you mess around with the Hawks, what faith do I have when James Harden is going nuts in a series? Maxey can go off at any time. Tobias Harris can go off at any time. PJ Tucker's a nuisance. And you got the league MVP in Joel Embiid. What faith do I have? I don't have any faith. All right, so look, you either take Philly plus the points or you don't bet the game. I get it. Boston's been up in a couple of these games and they've peed them away. But again, until Boston shows me that they can win and win handily because they're the better team, they got the better roster, la-da-da-da-da-da-da, and they still haven't gotten it done. So until they get it done, I can't subscribe to that. So possibly this is a good in-play game. Maybe one of these teams gets up double digits early in the first half, and you can play the other side. I think in-game's the way to go here. That's probably what I'll do if I do anything. I might not touch it at all again. I'll be watching it. In-game is a possibility, but as far as straight up, I want no parts of it. Like I said, if I was going to play it, you would have to take Philly plus the points at home, right? All the money and all that's going Boston's way. Philly's at home. That crowd's going to be nuts. I'll tell you this, Boston better start fast, and I mean really fast. If they come out 16-4, 16-5, again, that would be a good opportunity to take the 76ers the other way. Phoenix tonight, laying 3. 52% of the bets are on the Nuggets, 48% on the Suns. The handle right now, 70% overwhelmingly with Denver, 30% with the Suns. I want to see how this line moves throughout the day. If it stays that way, I would lean Suns money line. Now yesterday, both favorites won. That's not always, typical, right? Usually there's a stinker in there somewhere. So look, if Philly can get the cover, and I think the Suns win this game, I think that's probably my leans. Looking ahead to tomorrow, Lakers laying 3 at home. Again, we don't know the status of Anthony Davis. And then the Knicks are catching 5 at the Miami Heat. I clearly expect, even though the Knicks showed a lot of heart, I fully expect the Heat to close this thing out without a doubt in Game 6, as they are up 3-2 over the New York Knicks. So on the ice, Toronto Maple Leafs, they stay alive. They stay around. All that talent. It was a little hairy. They tried to give it away at the end, but the Toronto Maple Leafs get the win 2-1. We had them last night. Now going tomorrow night will be game 5 rather. Panthers hold a 3-1 series lead. And now, lo and behold, the Toronto Maple Leafs are back up $1.80. But hey, we finished this series with a 1-1 split. So there you go. I'll take it and go on. Florida's obviously. Yeah, I had a buddy out in Vegas who's a gambler, and he said, John, I'm telling you, Toronto's going to come back and win the series. And I was like, you're drunk. I can't see that. They almost blew last night. So Edmonton Oilers get it done for us, 4-1 to cash in that money line parlay. Right now, they're laying $1.30 at Vegas for Game 5. This series all knotted up 2-2. So Game 5 tomorrow night, the Golden Knights plus 110 on the comeback. Oilers laying $1.30. Tonight, the New Jersey Devils fully expect their season to end, visiting the Hurricanes. Though I do have to say, I'm interested to see how this line moves, because the fact that the Hurricanes are only minus 125 and they're getting 74% of the bets and 48% of the handle. I want to see how that moves, because as to where early right now, I'm like, oh, the Hurricanes are a play at only minus 125. My feelings on that could change throughout the day, depending upon what happens with this line movement. Because, I mean, the line should really be $1.60, $1.65 for the Hurricanes. And you got to remember, the road teams are 39-27 in these playoffs. Last night got the split again. Oilers at home winning, but the Maple Leafs on the road. So, these road teams have been dangerous. So I just want to watch that line movement. The Seattle McCrackheads, they'll be visiting the Stars. Stars laying $1.90, come back plus $1.60 on the Crackheads. We need the Stars to get this done. If they get this done and go up 3-2, I feel really good about that 5-unit play we got out there. We gave a unit of it back, betting the Crackheads in Game 4, which was a mistake. I should have bet at Game 3, but, whatever. So look, there'll be no play on this game for us. We just got to root for the Stars. If the Crackheads win this, Game 5, then we're forced to try to middle this a little bit and take the Crackheads in Game 6. I don't want to do that. I want to let it roll. So Dallas Stars, even though there's not a play on them tonight, there truly is a play, and we need the Stars and their goalie play to show up and show out for sure as we move along here. Baseball short card in the MLB. Only 5 games on the slate. First one goes off at 12:35. The New York Mets will send Senga to the hill. They're laying $2 against Derek Law of the Cincinnati Reds. Mets, Senga 4-1 with a 3.38 ERA. He's averaging about 5 innings pitched. Law 2-4 with a 3 ERA. Mets won 2-1 yesterday behind Justin Verlander, who had a good performance. Now that puts the Mets at 1-4 in their last 5 following a win. The Mets are 0-5 their last 5 against a left-handed starter. Originally, the Reds were going to have one, but Law, the right-hander, so that's out the window now for that game. And, of course, the Mets have dominated the Reds 39-16 the last 55 meetings, 21-9 the last 30 in Cincinnati. Nito is still out, the catcher for the New York Mets. When you look at the Mets, they're carrying the 16th ranked offense, Reds 21st ranked offense on there. And then you have Law, his last 4 starts, he's only made 4. His teams are 2-2. He hasn't even made it to 2 full innings pitched. So going to be a bullpen session here for the Cincinnati Reds. Singas had 6 starts. The Mets are 5-1 in those starts. Singa's been anywhere from 5 innings to 6 innings. And he's given up 0 runs his last start out against Colorado in a 1-0 win. So 6 starts, 4 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs, 1 run, 1 run, 0 runs. So look, Mets haven't been hitting the ball very well. Laying $2 on the road against the Reds bullpen. I think the Mets win, but I can't subscribe to laying $2 on the road. I just can't do that. Again, you got to have rules. Laying $2, I'll do it occasionally, but I'm never going to do it on the road, okay? Unless it's a doubleheader and a team lost the first game of a doubleheader, so we're wheeling back in the second game. We got the better pitching matchup. That's going to be about the only time I would step out there. Again, you got to have rules. Without rules, you're willing to bet anything. If you're willing to bet anything, then you're going to lose a lot and be sleeping on a park bench. That's just the way it goes. Padres roll in against the Twinkies to finish off their series. Padres are going to send Darvish to the mound 2-2 with a 3.19 ERA. The Twins will counter with Ober, who's been awesome, 2-0 with a .98 ERA. Padres now 2-8 their last 10 and many, and 5-15 the last 20 meetings overall between these two teams. Injury front, nothing really to report here on that. So when I look at this, you got to dig into the pitchers more than anything in this matchup. Darvish, the Padres have won his last 3 starts. He's given them at least 5 2/3 in all of those, giving up 1 run, 4 runs, and 1 run. So far this season, the Padres are 3-3 in his starts. They lost his first 3 outings. They've won his last 3. So, other than that 4 runs he gave up back on April 30th, in which they still beat the Giants because the Giants stink. They beat them 6-4, and then he gave up 5 runs back on April 10th to the Mets in 6 innings pitched. Other than that, he hasn't given up more than a run. Against the Twins, he's only faced them 4 times. Last time was 2020, where he gave up 4 runs in 6 innings pitched, but his teams, which was the Rangers and the Cubs, 2-2 in his outings there. Bailey Ober, like I said, he's pitched well, but the Twins haven't won games because the Twins, they struggle to manufacture runs. He's had, 3 starts this year. They're 2-1. Before that, 1-4. But in his 3 starts this year, 0 runs, 1 run, 1 run. He went 5 2/3, 2 of those his last outing against Cleveland. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Back on May 5th in a 2-0 win for the Twinkies. Again, I don't really like going against Darvish. He's a really good pitcher, but Ober's been he's been so dialed in. To have him at plus money and the way that the Padres historically have struggled against the Twinkies, I'm not going to play the game, but if you're going to play this game, you got to take the Twinkies. I mean, you just got to. Again, the way the Padres have struggled in Minnesota, the way Ober's pitched these last three, I think that's the way to go. Third game on the board in the rotation, 9-5-5 Chicago White Sox against 9-5-6 Kansas City Royals. There's going to be a lot of people who be glad this series is over watching these two jokers. Mike Clevenger will get the call for the White Sox, 2-3 with a 4.84 against Brady Singer, which has been singing horribly this year, 2-4 with an 8.82 ERA. I mean, man, that team, they're just absolutely horrific. Last night, the Royals pounded the White Sox 9-1, which makes the White Sox now 1-6, their last 7 in Kansas City. Hard to believe there. Kansas City, they're moving on up the charts offensively, up to 22nd now. White Sox still at 18th. Clevenger, his last 10 starts, the White Sox are 1-4, 1-4. And he's been getting pounded with runs this year. 4 runs, 2 runs, 6 runs, 3 runs, 4 runs. So Clevenger hasn't been sharp at all. But look, against the Kansas City Royals, it might be time for him to get right. His last 10 starts, his teams are 9-1. 9-1 against them. And he has never given up more than 3 runs against the Royals. Most of them, he's given up 1 or 2 runs. So that's impressive. Brady Singer, he's 1-4 in his 5 starts. Last 5 starts, 3-4 are the Royals in his starts overall this year. But again, I mean, 5 runs, 8 runs, 5 runs, 8 runs, 5 runs, 1 run. He's gotten pounded. And against the White Sox, though, he has won, or the Royals have won 4 of his last 5 starts. But again, he's given up 4 runs twice, a 1 run and a shutout there. Again, kind of like the Twins game, I got no real opinion. White Sox -105, Royals -115. This will probably close 110 both ways. There's just nothing that intrigues me enough to hop out there and bet that. Tampa Bay will visit the New York Yankees. Tampa Bay laying $1.25 will send Rasmussen to the bump, 3-2 with a 3.11 ERA, 1.19 WHIP, averaging 5 1/3 innings pitched. German will get is who the Yankees will counter with, 2-2 with a 4.35. He has a 0.94 WHIP. I mean, there's been some times Aaron the Buffoon Boone has pulled him. You guys know my feelings on Aaron Boone. And then he's averaging 5 2/3 in those. Total right now set at 8.5. Look, Tampa Bay 3-7 their last 10 in New York. The Yankees got Judge back. Hicks is questionable for the Yankees, whether he'll play. Pereza is out, the shortstop. Donaldson, the third baseman, is out. I mean, the Yankees, Stanton's not back till mid-June. I mean, the Yankees are just dealing with all kinds of injuries. Again, Tampa Bay brings that number 1 ranked defense, number 2 ranked offense, and Yankees 7th in defense, 14th in offense. So when you look inside the pitching matchup, Drew Rasmussen, his last 10 starts, Tampa Bay is 1-4 in his last 5. His last outing was actually against the Yankees back on May 6th. So not even a week ago. Yankees won that game 3-2. He went 5 2/3, giving up 2 hits, 0 runs, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. So good outing for him there. Lifetime against the Yankees last September. And again, like we just said, May, 1-1. But in that, he's pitched 11 2/3 and hasn't given up a run to the Yankees. So it hasn't been Rasmussen. It's just been A, not enough run support, or B, the bullpen lets him down. But he shut him out twice. So interesting there. Domingo German, he's been a little better of late. They've won 3 of his last 5 starts after losing 4 in a row before that. So, he's given up 4 runs, 6 runs, 2 runs, 1 run, 1 run, 1 run, 4 runs. So he's been a little inconsistent, up and down. But listen, he's faced Tampa Bay 8 times, and the Yankees are 6-2 in those outings. All right. So last outing, again, he gave up 2 runs on May 6th. This was the same pitching matchup. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Before that, last September, he came in relief, 1 inning, no earned runs. And before that, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 3. So look, the Rays have struggled, obviously in New York, going 3-7 the last 10. When you look ahead on Friday, it's going to end up being Josh Fleming against Garrett Cole. Cole fell apart a little bit the last outing, so I'd like him to bounce back. So for me, the lean is definitely you either take Tampa minus $1.25, or you stay away from this game here on Thursday. San Francisco Giants at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Again, 2 Jekyll and Hyde teams. The Giants will send Cobb to the bump, 2-1 with a 2 ERA. He's averaging about 5 2/3. The Diamondbacks will send the southpaw Henry to the mound, 1-0 with a 5.17 ERA to the hill. So, excuse me. He's got a 1.53 whip. Now the Giants 5-0 their last 5 versus a left-handed starter. Pretty impressive. But the Giants, the Giants are 1-11 in Cobb's last 12 starts, coming off of a quality start that he's had. I apologize, guys. Giants 38-17 the last 55 meetings overall. Crawford for the Giants is probable to be back in the lineup. Slater with that hamstring should be back in. They really need to get Yastrzemski back sometime late this month. He's suspected to be back coming off of that hamstring injury. Giants 15th in offense, Diamondbacks 6th in offense. Again, if you go inside the pitching matchup, Cobb has won 3 of his last 4. 0 runs, 3 runs, 0 run, 1 run. So he's pitched well against the Diamondbacks, though he's gotten tagged. Now the Giants have won 4 of his 6 starts, but if you listen to the earned runs here over 5 innings pitched, he's never pitched more than 6 against them. But the last 2 outings, he's went 5 innings back in September of last year. 4 runs, 5 runs, then he had a 1 runner, then 3, 3, and 5. So Cobb has been susceptible against the Diamondbacks. Now Henry, even though he's 1-0, the Diamondbacks have won his last 3 starts. He's given up 2, 4, and 3 runs in that. His only outing against the Giants came last September. 4 innings pitched, 5 runs in that one. Again, I think when you look at this game, I can't get a read on either team. Giants laying $1.35, comeback plus 115 on the Diamondbacks, but I would probably be interested in the over. Again, I'm not an over-under guy, so God, please don't take my advice. I get destroyed on this for whatever reason. But I don't know if you can play a side here. Plus money looks intriguing with the Diamondbacks. They coming off the series loss to the Marlins, though, kind of makes me a little hesitant. Last game on the board, A's haven't announced a starter, probably because they're trying to pull somebody from the stands, as horrible as they are. Nathan Eovaldi will get the call for the Rangers. Look, the Rangers are probably going to be like -2 something. Somewhere $1.80 to 2 something. Maybe you find somebody to parlay the Rangers with. If you didn't get in on our Stars play, maybe a Stars Rangers parlay could be a lean there. So we'll just have to look at that and see where it goes. Looking at the NFL schedule release, comes out today. Obviously, we got some good stuff with the first ever Black Friday game. You're going to have the Miami Dolphins visiting the Jets. That's on November 24th. So Tua will definitely be out by then. On Sunday, December 3rd, you're going to get 49ers and Eagles. That'll be a good one. Christmas Day, we know that the midday game, which thank God, those Christmas games were horrible last year. Totally get what the NFL is trying to do. I fully support them. You know, I don't like the 1 o'clock game, man. Give us some time with the finish. Just give me 2 good games. Give me a good 4:30 and a good 8 o'clock. You don't need a game at 1 o'clock. Got kids still bouncing all over the place, but whatever. But we get a good one in the middle of the day, so I'm not going to complain. Giants at Eagles, 4:30 on Christmas Day. I like that one a lot. New Year's Eve, the 4:25 game. That will be Bengals at Chiefs, which could be a preview of your AFC Championship game. So that's some pretty good stuff there. Look, I'll be interested to see what happens on this week 1 schedule, who they end up going with as far as the opener for the Chiefs. I think Denver would be a good one. I mean, some people said Philly. I mean, I got no interest in that. I don't want to see that right off the bat. I want to let those 2 teams get in there, start driving and picking a little bit before we get into that. But yeah, I love this Giants. I love this Giants Eagles matchup on Christmas Day. That one, that one intrigues me a lot. That one intrigues me a lot. Now the international games, Falcons at the Jaguars, they got, I mean, the London Queens here, small market no more in Jacksonville. They get to stay in London back to back. So looking ahead, that line with them in Buffalo will be very interesting because Jacksonville will have already been there for a week and a half, 2 weeks. But Falcons at Jaguars on October 1st, Jaguars Bills on October 8th. Ravens Titans, which, man, the Titans, they're just going to be a mess. That'll be October 15th. Dolphins Chiefs November 5th. That'll be a good one. See, I thought the Dolphins Chiefs in week 1 to kick the season off as the Thursday night game. I thought by far that was the way to go. Have Tyreek Hill there, watching them get their rings and raise the banner. I thought that would have been great, and you would have had 2 explosive offenses, but hey, what do I know? And Colts and Patriots on November 12th. Again, 8 o'clock tonight on ESPN and NFL Network will be your schedule release. Looking forward to that. Hey, look, on this beautiful Thursday, don't know, I might end up taking the day off. We've had a phenomenal 9 winning days out of the last 10. So again, as bad as April is, like I always tell you, the comeback's right around the corner. And kind of like I always talk about how sports gambling is just like life. You got to hang in there. You're going to take hits. You're going to get knocked down. The people that really make something of themselves in life don't listen to the noise. They just keep progressing on, right? They pick themselves up. They say, okay, what did I do wrong? And they start putting 1 foot in front of the other. That's the same thing you got to do in sports gambling if you're going to do this and make money. And like I say all the time, what is your why? Why are you doing this? Are you doing this to make a couple bucks for recreation? If you are, that's fine. God bless you. But I'm in this to make money, right? This is what I do for a living. Helping people is what I do for a living. But anybody out there that tells you there's a lock, they're a liar. Anybody out there that tells you they're going to win every day, every week, every month, they're a liar, right? So, and everybody tries to smooth it out. I've been back and forth with guys about this before. Game's over 500, but unit wise, okay, I could be like everybody else. I could say, put a unit on this. Oh, it lost. No, put 2 units. Oh, it lost. Put 3. Well, next thing you know, you got a 10 unit play. And you're like, you went 1-4 with the guy, but you can say, oh, I'm up 5 units. But meanwhile, he's broke, right? Money management plays a role into that. That's why, okay, you want to take 15 to 20% off the top. That's fine. but not everybody's going to bet the same way. So you got to look at it 150 games. Let's just say that's 125-ish units. Okay, what are you going to bet a game? Take that times 125 then. All right, but again, you got to look at it on the flip side. If I crack 200 like I did this year, 288 over, how much money are you going to make then? So again, I'm just like the stock market. I'm going to have ups. I'm going to have downs. The biggest difference with me is I'm not going to totally crash, right? And I'm going to make you money month over month, year over year. That's why I have guys that have been with me for 13 years. I couldn't get rid of them if I wanted to, right? Because they've won so much money, because they're disciplined. They play the plays. They don't let a bad day, bad week, bad month. Heck, I could go 2 months in a row losing. They're going to say, John, you've won me a ton of money. Won me a ton of money. It's going to come back, right? And again, but for all the haters out there, I love y'all. Keep sending me your stuff, because that just helps fuel me. Because I'm not working for you guys. I'm working for the hardworking guy that is trying to make money and wants to do something with his life and make money in gambling to go do great things with. Look, most gamblers always have the best intentions. You know, if I get this amount of money, I can help this person. I can do this for my kids. I can do this for my family. So gamblers always have the best intentions most of the time, but you need to be able to stay focused. And again, it's just like life. We're going to get knocked down. We're going to get jabbed in the face. Bad stuff's going to happen. But again, we just got to ride it out, pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off. I'm always going to pick way more winners than losers. And we just keep chugging along, man. And again, it's just like life. If it were easy, everybody do it. That's why there's not a lot of successful people when you look at the overarching population. It's just easier to be mediocre, right? That's why a lot of these handicappers out of here, they'll get guys and they'll give 6 different groups of people 6 different plays. And then if, you know, the 2 groups that win, you know, you keep doing that long enough, now you got a group of 5 people you can tell it, say, oh, you're 5-0, give me all this money. When the reality is they didn't. They just split up the people and they're throwing darts and playing a numbers game. I'm not into playing with people. I'm into the helping people business. Okay. So what you see is what you get. I'm not for everybody, but look, man, if you hop on board, it'll be a wild ride. But again, hope you guys have a great and blessed Thursday. God bless you. Be safe. Hug your kids. And man, just have a sense of gratitude and love life. All right. Love y'all, my winners. See y'all tomorrow.